Hi, I'm Tim Gibson, and I'm going to go over how to touch up painted walls. Now, it's a good idea when you are painting a room. It's okay to have some paint left over. In fact, like I said, it's a good idea to have some paint left over. Now, in this case, I've got a gallon that is pretty full, so it's good to keep this in a can. Now, if I happen to have, say, just a quarter of this gallon left, then to keep paint for a long term, I'd want to transfer this to a smaller container. That way you have less air in there and less chance that that paint's going to dry out. Now, if my paint's been sitting a while, it's going to be very important to stir this paint up and make sure you mix it properly. Now, what we want to do is we want to do this in circular motion while pulling up, because you want to get everything that's settled on the bottom of the can, you want that mixed in properly. So we're going to have just a nice little gentle pulling up motion as we continue to stir this. And it's very important, particularly when you're touching up. You want to make sure your paint is mixed really good. If it's not all the way mixed, then you may have some color variation where you're going back over. Now, as far as what to use, we have several options that we can use. You can use a foam type applicator like this for small areas, or a disposable foam brush such as this, or you can use just a standard paintbrush for doing this. So this purpose is I'll go ahead and use the disposable brush. And what we want to do is you want to start out and you want to use very, very little paint. And a very common area to touch up is on these corners where you have a lot of traffic. And what we want to do is we want to get the paint in there, but it's very important to get it really smooth. So once we get it in there, then what we want to do is just do some quick light strokes and smooth it out from the center. And what this does is it gives you a nice blend into the surrounding paint. Now, as you can, this is going to be a little lighter when it first goes on. You don't need to be concerned about this. As this dries out, all paint darkens up a little bit. Now, to make sure that you're using the right, one thing I'd recommend is on your lids, make sure you mark your lids with a permanent marker. In this case, mark this kitchen, so that if you have some colors that are pretty close together in your house, you know which one to use to touch up. I'm Tim Gibson, and that's how you touch up painted walls.